Hello, Joe. I'll let you give your name and all that.
Yeah. Well, my real name is Dennis Joe Webb, but I go by Joe.
Okay.
Um, I'm,
So, most of the deals I've seen, they start out with I was drafted, I went through boot camp here, and etc.
yeah, yeah. I well, I graduated from high school in 1966, and a friend and I spent a summer in San Francisco and ended up getting drafted out there, and went into the army. I guess early 1968. Went through basic training at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and also advanced infantry training, and then went through I don't even know what they called it then, the NCO school in Fort Benning, Georgia, which was basically a abbreviated officers training program, along with some of the ranger training, and then after that went to Fort Ord, California, and was a platoon leader for platoon leader for a group of AI advanced infantry guys there before I went ahead and went on over to Vietnam as a sergeant.
What year was this when you went
It
over?
was, it was 1968 also.
Do you remember what month?
Oh gosh, it must have been August or September, I think.
Okay. Where'd you land over there and start out?
Golly, I don't remember. Sure, I think we landed in Da Nang.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember stepping off the plane and just feeling that heat hit you like somebody opened the damn oven in your face, And that that part was kind of funny. We were there probably 5 days till they got us arranged where we were going to go, and during those 5 days they would get everybody out there and split them up into some kind of work details, just make them have something to do, and so like 3 days in a row we'd have about 15 of us lined up there, and they were going to tell us what to do, and I'd get down at the far end of it, and the guy would be talking to everybody, and I just kind of go back down to the other end where he had already been, and then as soon as he left and they all went around the corner, I just went the other way and either went to the BX and drank beer or sat around the platoon or something. I mean, what the hell's they gonna do? You's already in Vietnam. What are they gonna do to you?
That's why he moved up so fast in the training.
But from there, we went to. They flew us to a camp called YK, and we stayed there for probably 4 days, just kind of getting used to the heat and everything, and sitting in one of the guard towers all night long, and then after that we actually went out into the field, and I went, I don't know how, I was supposed to follow this guy around. It was a infantry squad leader, and so I just kind of get the ropes going, and I followed him around for probably less than a week, and then he kind of got wiped out along with people on 4 sides of me, and I ended up with a busted eardrum, and I've still got a picture somewhere that's about faded out where there's a hole right here in my helmet where a GI Claymore went through the helmet and was stopped by the fiberglass liner in the helmet. So they made me the squad leader after that. And,
What rank were you at? Was that still the E5?
Yeah, it was still E5. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, we just everything after that was kind of typical. You go out and
Oh, I'm sorry. She needs a Band-Aid.
I'm gonna pause it.
go out and do recon patrols where we'd go out probably a week at a time and then come back into these outposts that were just probably a half-acre size.
That's what I was gonna ask, like
Artillery.
fire bases
Yeah,
and such.
Yeah, yeah. And we'd go back into those and take a shower, and the shower was a canvas 5-gallon container with a little shower head on the bottom of it that you hung up and washed off in, and we'd spend a day or two back there, and a lot of times when we were back there, well, the artillery guys were there all the time, and they always had good food to eat, so we'd sneak into their kitchen and steal canned hams and sit down in the bunkers and play poker and eat canned ham with our fingers out of the can that we'd cut open with a knife.
But having y'all there meant y'all were making sure somebody wasn't planning an attack right outside their perimeter. So they had to appreciate what y'all were doing.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, we just, that's mainly what we did. We'd go out like a week at a time, come back in a day and a half or 2 days, and then.
Was there a main base do you have like a main base and then these fire bases or radio bases outside of it?
The
Or?
only time I saw a main base when we were over there was whenever I went in and they checked out my eardrum and said that if it didn't get it, if it got worse, to come back in, so sent me back out. So that, I mean, like, you know, that one morning was the only time I ever got further back than the
We'll still go get her.
fire base or whatever.
Let's go get her.
Okay, I'm back on, Joe.
Everything after that up until the time I was messed up was pretty much just routine patrols and occasional ambush and, you know, some contact. Probably one we don't need to talk about,
Okay, that's fine.
but whenever I really got hurt, well, we had set up a ambush at this crossroad, and we were there all night and never saw anything, and then got up the next morning and started walking down into the main crossroads itself, and I saw a GI Claymore set up right out in the middle of the intersection there, and looked off to the side, and there was a bunker off to the side there, and the little wire going over to the bunker, and
So would they take y'all's claymores?
oh yeah,
And this was one the enemy had set.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That was one they had set, and this guy stuck his head up out of that bunker, and so we started shooting at him, and I mean, there was like probably 10 of us, you know, shooting at that one little hole in the ground, and so we couldn't get close enough to throw a hand grenade on him, so you know, we all kind of got tired of shooting, and all at once that guy jumped up, and I guarantee you he broke a world record getting the hell out of there. And when none of us ever hit him, you know, it kind of caught us off guard, but he was ducking and dodging, you know, and everything, and he got totally away. But and after that, we kind of meandered on down in the direction that he went, and my point man set off we called them booby traps back then, a IED, and messed him up pretty good. And so instead of taking cover like I should have, I went up to try to help him out, and also brought our machine gunner up, because you would always, whenever you had something happen, well, the machine gun people would come all the way to the front and start spraying the woods with machine gun fire, and so they came up and they started spraying the woods with this machine gun fire, and I was kind of helping the point man guy, and then another explosion went off, and what messed me up, mainly my shoulder. I tell the doctor I got multiple scars, all extremities, but I've got, my shoulder here, and I was telling Tommy earlier, I've still got a little piece of metal right there, small pieces of metal still working out of me from there. But,
Wow. After how many years?
Ever since, a piece of shrapnel went right in my eye socket and followed the eye socket around and cut the optic nerve on it. And what else? I got one in my foot, and one right here that I think they claim was like about that far away from the jugular vein in my neck, and on down on my chest down here. And I had my rifle like this, and one piece of shrapnel hit the end of my finger and split the bone right there. And but anyway, they medevaced me out, and I went to Tokyo and stayed there for a while, and then at Fort Sam Houston, and come home after that.
So you didn't have a whole lot of time in country, did you?
No, probably not over 3 months.
Did you ever know, was it like an RPG, or what was the round that got you?
I don't know. I think it was some kind of just improvised deal because of the size of the metal and stuff, But I never did find out. But I've still got a piece of metal right here that shows up when I take dental x-rays. And when I was working over in Kuwait, well, they made you take x-rays to see that you didn't have tuberculosis before they let you in the country, and these old guys took the x-ray and they were all up there scratching on it, trying to figure out what was the matter with the x-ray screen, because it had metal showing up on all of it. It was kind of funny. But I had my eyes still, was just blind in it until about 90, I guess it was 93, and when I was working overseas, all that flying in a zero humidity airplane that just zonked it out, so I finally had to have it taken out and do the artificial eye. And I've got I have to get a new one about every 5 years because they're changing all the time, and this is actually my eyeball. And I've got one of my granddaughters
Carries it on his
down in
keychain.
Austin is she's kind of a different gal. Peyton, she's my favorite, kind of, but I've accumulated several of those over the years, and she actually, I made her a pair of earrings and a necklace out of those, and she goes around showing them to all of her friends and stuff.
It's not a real eyeball.
It's acrylic.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I told her, I said, these guys charge the VA about $1,500 to make one of those, so you can tell your friend you're wearing $4,500 worth of jewelry.
Well, Joe, if that's all you have, that's fine. I just want to make sure and hear your story.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
you bet.